Hello, everybody, and welcome to No Sevens Dice Club. And tonight we're going to be talking about uh, Week 6 college football picks. It's Wednesday. Normally I try to get this video out on Tuesday, but I've been running a little bit behind, so I apologize. Coming out a little bit late, but I went ahead and I made my picks this week. It's hard to believe that we're already halfway through pretty much the college football season. It just seemed like it just started a couple of days ago. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my picks and show you how I bet and my strategy on what I use. Right in front of you, as you can see, there's two parlay tickets. These are last week's parlay tickets. This is to show you how I bet and the mistakes to look out for. So the first one that I did was, as you can see, we do teams that are relatively easy. It's not supposed to be difficult. We're not trying to do algorithms. We're not trying to figure out what to do, the toughest teams to play or anything else. We're trying to keep this simple, make a little bit of money, and enjoy our time being stress-free. I do a parlay pick on the money lines, so that way we go after the bigger teams that are going to play the weaker teams. It's kind of pretty much like you're picking the bully to beat up the Liberty kid and steal their lunch money. So let's take a look. Last week we did Alabama, we did Michigan State, we did Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Michigan, Clemson, and Texas A&M. That Clemson game was a little bit closer than I anticipated, but hey, look, it paid. We won. That's all that matters. A lot of people will sit there and send me comments that, hey, look, these money line picks, they don't make anything. It's not even worth betting on. It's free money. Sure, you're only going to win $10, $5, whatever it may be. But hey, that pays for, a couple of gallons of gas in your car to go back and forth to the casino to make these bets, or, pays for a slice of pizza and a beer on your way home. Either way, it's an extra $5 or $10. Real simple and quick and easy. Now, one of the things I want to show out is not this one, but this was another money line pick that I did. This is a pitfall that you guys have to look out for that I didn't check until I got home. I ended up losing money on this. This was a $10. I would have won an extra $10 on this ticket, but because I did not check the ticket in time, I am now a $10 loser. As you can see, all the bets won except for this one. This is the Stanford Oregon State under. I did not bet this game. This game was put on by the dealer by mistake. I did not realize this until I came home, and she put this on there by mistake. She probably hit a wrong button, and I ended up with a ticket that was completely wrong. It would have been nice if I would have won that by accident, but instead they went on the over. So it is something that I need to practice, something I need to work on to look for when I check my tickets. I need to spend an extra 5 minutes, go through everything, make sure everything is correct on the ticket, especially when you're doing big parlays like this, a 9-team, 10-team parlay. Make sure that the dealer has it all right for you. If not, you go in there and tell them, please correct this mistake. They'll go back in there and void out the ticket and do it the right way. Because if not, you're going to end up a loser by happenstance. So enough of that. We're going to talk about Week 6 picks. I usually do about 4 or 5 teams in college football, and I don't usually go after the hard teams. I usually go after something that's simple, easy, and I usually do one dark horse team. So for my money line picks this week is Oklahoma, Wisconsin, LSU, Notre Dame, Texas, Georgia, Ohio State. Those are my money line picks. Those are the ones that I'm going to do a parlay on. I'm going to parlay all of them on the money line. And as long as they win, I'll win an extra $5, $10. Bam. Easy. Easy done. I don't have to do anything. The only thing I do is just tell the dealer that's what I want. Hand her $5, $10. I'll collect $5 or $10 on the back end. Or if you want to put $100, whatever your level is, whatever you want to do. And that's the most work you'll have to do to collect $5 or $10. Pretty freaking simple. All right, moving on. This week, I like LSU minus 28 versus Utah State. LSU is the highest scoring football team right now in Division I, averaging almost 58 points a game. Their defense is holding teams to about 25, 28 points a team. The thing to be careful of, though, is Utah State does have a very good pro-style offense, so it's something to keep in mind. But LSU's defense, way too many NFL first-round talent on that backfield, especially the corners. Next game is Georgia minus 25. I'm taking Georgia minus 25 versus Tennessee. Tennessee is a dumpster fire. I expect some heads to be rolled at the end of the season. Tennessee is a very passionate fan base. They want and expect championships, and they deserve championships. At least a good winning record, to get things rolling. And I took the over on this one. The over at the time is 51 points. I took that because Georgia's averaging about 45 points on their own. I think Georgia's going to put in their second and third string come the third and fourth quarter. So Tennessee might be able to get a point or two. So I'm going to take the over on 51 points also. The next team I took is Ohio State. Ohio State is minus 19.5 points. That's what I locked it in as. Ohio State is playing Michigan State. Michigan State's got a good defense, but Ohio State has something to prove because they're going over. They're trying to prove to the committee this year that they are a dominant team, that they are a winning team, and they're going to put forth a good resume come the end of October. So look for Ohio State to really come out swinging in this game. And they're going to lay on the throttle. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Ohio State with 50 points by themselves, in this game. The over is 49 points. I took the over on this. This seems like pretty much a slam dunk case. All right, so those are my three teams that I like, and then my fourth one is my dark horse. This can go either way, and this is Iowa versus Michigan. Iowa's got a very good defense. It's what they're known for. They have what was I going to say? I'm sorry, guys, I lost my track. Iowa has a very good defense, and Michigan, what I was going to say is Shea Patterson at quarterback. It seems like he's been a quarterback now for about 10 years. I remember him when he was playing at Ole Miss. I remember him now with Jim Harbaugh. This is going to be in a very emotional game. They're playing in Michigan. Michigan needs this win for a couple of reasons. They need the win because the coaches are starting to get in some hot water over Michigan, and that seat's starting to heat up big time under Jim. And I think he's a great coach. I just think he's running through a rough patch right now. But I think Michigan's going to win the game overall. But I don't think it's going to be plus 4 points or minus 4 points that they have them laid. So I went ahead and I took Iowa plus 4 as my dark horse. I think Michigan's probably going to win by a point or two, maybe 3 points. So I went with Iowa plus 4. Those are my teams I went with this week. And one other thing, another strategy you guys can use. So we'll take this one for example. As you can see, we did all of our money line picks on this. So one thing you can do is you can do all your money line picks, and you can add a team. So instead of Stanford and Oregon State, you can add the LSU game, you can add the Georgia game, you can add the Ohio State, you can add the Iowa game. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. It'll pay out a little bit more, so that way you're not just getting paid the money line. You can add LSU minus 28 points if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. You can even do what I usually do sometimes. I'll take the whole entire money line, and that'll be one parlay ticket. And then I'll take another parlay ticket, and then I'll sit there and do it exactly like this. But then I'll add LSU or Georgia or whatever it is. So that way it pays out a little bit more because it actually has a point spread in there and or over under. So that's something you can do. Another strategy that I sometimes also do if I have some extra cash, because I'll sit there at the craps table, and that's how I usually make my sports bets. I usually let the casinos make my sports bets. I'll sit there and I'll play the craps table first, roll a couple of numbers, get my earnings up to $50, $100, $300, $400, whatever, however aggressive I want to be that week, and then I'll go put all that money right back into the sports betting. So that way, I'm pretty much not paying for anything. They're paying for it all. And so what I'll do next is I'll tier up my bets, meaning that I'll pick four individual teams like I just did, like LSU, Georgia, Ohio State, Iowa. And then what I'll do is next on the next ticket, I'll take LSU and Georgia. That'll be a two-team parlay. Then I'll do Ohio State and Iowa. That'll be another two-team parlay. And then I'll go back and then I'll do a four-team parlay. Then I'll do LSU, Georgia, Ohio State, Iowa. So that way, as long as one team's winning, you're making money. And then it'll go into stages. You got stage one, you got stage two, stage three, stage four. It's just something a little bit extra to give yourself a little challenge, so that way you know what you're looking at. That's just how I bet. There's different strategies. There's different things you can do. You got teasers. You got um, round robins. There's no cookie cutter way of how to bet when it comes to sports betting. You can send me your comments below. How do you bet? We're going to do week 7 next week on Tuesday. You can shoot me some emails. Tell me what teams you're looking at. I'm already getting some emails on what do I think about LSU and Florida next week. So we'll probably go a little bit deeper into that, what I think about LSU, versus Florida, and how it goes. I tell you what, a lot of that game comes into how Auburn and Florida play this weekend at the Swamp. And that's going to carry a lot of weight into it. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to shoot a video tomorrow on random rollers and how to bet on random rollers. I'm going to show you an aggressive strategy on how to bet, and I'm going to show you a less aggressive strategy, a little more conservative of how I bet and how other people like to bet on random rollers. So that way we're going to cover two fields. We're going to do aggressive and we're going to do non-aggressive. Getting a lot of emails on that. People want to see and how I look at random rollers, and we're going to go over different dice sets, what dice sets they use, what dice sets that some people use, and we're going to look at different aspects of that. So stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to do the random roller dice set, and see if we can't learn together tomorrow and go from there. All right, guys. Well, I wish you lots of luck on your picks. You don't have to make my picks. It's just these are the teams I'm going with, and these are my teams for week 6. So good luck, guys, on your week 6 picks, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.